Alright, today we are going to make our turn to explain the story and info of Kaede Akino. As if you have read the series or seen it, let me do a recap. This video contains information on certain magical girls that hail from the series Etymology. Most notably, Magi Record. I have a spin-off series of this that explains other characters from other different media, besides Magi. Right now, I am doing Genshin Impact and Pretty Cure. If you want to check those out, be my guest. My editing might not be that good, but I try my hardest to make it, and so without further ado, let's get started with Kaede Akino's information. Kaede Akino is a 14-year-old magical girl. She is 150 centimeters in height, her eyes are golden brown, and her hair is reddish brown. She comes from Shinsei Ward in Kamihama City. Her soul gem is a red circle located on the tip of her hat. The weapon she wields is a wooden cane. Her wish in Doppel is Zola. Kaede's known relatives is her unnamed mother, unnamed father, and Kaede's 4 pets. Kuro, her pet lizard, Chiha, her pet dog, Dawn, her other pet dog, and her pet spider. Oh god. Kanae's wish to become a magical girl stems from what she said to be to stop a construction of apartments. Depending on Kaede's personality, magic element, and design of nature, we can see and understand what was her motive for her wish. The construction of those apartments. I wish they never started. Her magical element is the forest element, and her ability is temporarily distillation, which means she can delete objects for a certain period of time. Kanae attends Kamihama University Frail School, and she is in the 8th grade. Worrywart. Kaede is always easily scared. She is also kind and caring and ready to take any risk for her own friends. She loves animals, plants, and insects, and nature in general. She enjoys gardening, and though she's not good at them, she likes UFO catchers. The Doppel of Conquest. Its form is a plot of land. The master of this emotion fears that it will eat away at their everyday life, and carefully chooses when to summon it. For an instant, this Doppel is summoned. Regardless of its master's intentions, it will cover its surroundings with rotten moss to conquer the land, with its only goal being to extend its territory. Summoning this Doppel accidentally, even in a beloved area, will destroy its surroundings by covering everything in its moss. Within the confines of its territory, it can unleash tremendous power. Kanae is introduced in the main story as she is running from a witch and bumps into Idara as she was pulled into the witch's labyrinth. In the game, Idara saves Kaede by defeating the witch. In the anime, both of them are almost defeated by the witch until Rena Minami and Momoko Togame come to their rescue. Kaede is shown to argue a lot with Rena, and Momoko is the one who has to break them up. They argue. When Kanae is kidnapped by the Wasaf Ending Staircase, Rena reveals she wrote there in her name on the steps and started the rumor in which it was done. If the two friends get into a fight and the one is apologized to the other, they will disappear. This also goes for the other as well. Once Kaede is rescued, she forgives Rena for what she did, and the two reconnect their friendship. In the anime, the same goes, but spoiler warning, in episode 5 in the anime cutscene, Kanae's Doppel Zola appears after fighting the witch Albertine. After Rena Minami rejects her attempt to join the team, Kane fights a witch and begins losing. She thinks back to how she became a magical girl. A high-rise apartment was being built in front of her house, which will block out the sun in front of her house. It threatened to ruin the family garden and made her pets act out. Ibe arrives to make an offer. Kane wishes that the construction of the apartments never started. While the construction stopped, Kane now has to be a magical girl and has been in constant state of panic since then. She wonders if it's all a dream. Kane is then saved by Rena and Momoko. Rena apologizes for rejecting Kane and hesitantly asks if Kane will become her valet. Kane agrees despite Momoko's protest. The three agree to fight together from then on. Later, Kane is playing a crane game at the arcade, but fails miserably. Rena appears and gets the toy Kane wanted, claiming it is an apology present. The two affirm their new friendship. Rena offers to show Kane how to win the crane game, but it doesn't seem to work. Kane, Momoko, and Rena then team up to fight the witch. However, Kane is unable to attack when Rena asked her to. Afterwards, Rena scolds Ki while Momoko tells her to cheer up. Kane begins to think she's useless. When the group goes on their next witch hunt, they decide to split up to cover more ground. Kane unworthily thinks that she's too afraid to accept that, but feels she can't get into the way. As the girls commentate through telepathy, Kari finds that she stumbled into the witch's barrier. She comes across a familiar, but Rena tells her to leave it alone until they all get there. Instead, she should follow the familiar to the witch's location. Kane tries to follow the familiar, but she's too scared to continue. Suddenly, the barrier disappears, and Kane sees Momoko and Rena. Kane apologizes to them. Later, the group confronts the familiar from before. They follow it until they reach the witch's location. Kane says the group should stop. Rena asks if Kane is afraid, but Kane is thinking that the familiar is trying to trick them. Rena thinks Kane overthinking it, and yells at Kane for letting it get away the first time. Momoko tells Rena to stop, and tells Kaede to stick close. When the group confronts the witch, they find that they can't move. The witch attacks them, dealing Momoko heavy damage. Later, when the girls are outside the barrier, Kaede thinks it was all her fault. Rena then thinks it was her fault. Momoko tells them not to worry. Kaede tells Momoko she wants to leave the team. She says she's just causing them more trouble, and asks Momoko to tell Rena. Kane then runs off. Later, Momoko tells Rena about what happened. Rena then again thinks it's her fault. Momoko explains she wanted to add Kaede because she's careful when she's not. Momoko thinks she doesn't need to tell Rena what she's really saying. Go make up with Kane. Rena then goes to find her. She finds Kane playing the crane game again and asks her how long is she going to continue playing when she can't win. Kane asks about what happened with the witch. Kane apologizes, but then Rena apologizes to Kane for not listening. Rena then tells Kane on one of her idol theories. She explains that the idol groups hiding one's personality is forbidden, so they get girls with different personalities. She thinks a magical girl team is similar. After catching the toy Kane was trying to get, she tells Kane that she is needed in their team and says she's willing to wait with Momoko. The next day, Rena waits at the arcade with Momoko. Momoko thinks that Kaede is not going to show up, but then she appears. Kane explains she was late because she was trying to win the crane game and get a present. She pretends Momoko and Kane will copy of the toy Rena won yesterday, explaining it's the proof of their team. Momoko and Rena accept them. Afterwards, Kane admitted she spent 5,000 yen trying to get both gifts. Rena says it was worth it. Kane Kaede's intimate magic appears to have some form of plant creation, sprouting from her wish to save her family's garden. The character's last name means autumn in field respectfully, and as Kaede can mean maple. This can tie into her warm colors, the autumn leaves falling into her transformation sequence and accessories when the forest elements. With this, Akino Kaede can be spelled as maple, autumn maple. Fact 1. Her Doppel's name may be a reference to Émile Zola, a French journalist and one of the foremost practitioners of naturalism, though it can also be a reference to the Zola genus of aquatic ferns, also known as fairy moss, an invasive plant in wetlands and lakes that more resembles some mosses than ferns. Her magical design is similar to of a Nordic or Scandinavian roleplay based games, including at a witch hat. Her outfit and weapon, although her design is similar to that of a wizard. Fact 3. His Japanese voice actor is Oyaya Oriyashi, whose known roles are as Ren Shibuki in Aikatsu, Lance in Doki Doki Pretty Cure, Jerome in Akane ga Kill, and Yumira in God of High School. Her English VA is Brianna Knickerbocker, who had played Kumoko in the English dub for So What, I Am a Spider. Ram and Restero starting in Life in Another World, Hutao in Genshin Impact, Ren in Catherine Full Body, He's Suzumiya in The Dangerous Life of Seki K Reawakened. Now we have come to the ending of Kaede Akino's story and info. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more and check out the other videos of this series in the spin-off of Genshin Impact and Pretty Cure. I know, as seen in Fact 3 when talking about the voice actors in this video, who will probably not be mentioned in some of the others, maybe, because I rarely do that for the Genshin Impact. Maybe, we'll see what happens there. The next magic girl that will be explained is Karen Misona, the Halloween magical girl. Anyway, see you guys soon. Sola Chan signing out.